Okay, now let's get to the fun part, right? We got that all out of the way. Let's talk science. We ready to talk science? Yeah. Let's talk about BioSlife C. In the PDR, it's called BioSlife Cardio. C stands for cardio, right? And we have this little cute shape that looks like a heart, right? Cardio. This product, BioSlife Cardio and BioSlife S, these products are our flagship products. These are the products that built Unicity. They put us on the map. These products change the world. They change the world. Okay? Let's talk about the science behind this product and the clinical studies here. So the key ingredients are shown here. We have fiber. Fiber is the workhorse for this product. So you take this product, you mix it up, you drink it 15 minutes before you eat. We have calcium carbonate in there. Calcium carbonate is a base. It reacts with the stomach acid, expands the fiber matrix in our stomach, giving the fiber more surface area so fiber can absorb glucose and it absorbs cholesterol. Like associates with like. Do you remember that from chemistry? Like associates with like. Chemicals with similar properties will associate with each other. The chemical structure of fiber, which is shown here, is very similar to the chemical structure of simple sugars. Simple sugars are just one of these here. So the structure is very similar. So the sugar associates with the fiber. Fiber holds onto it in the stomach, takes it through the digestive tract. The sugar does not get into the bloodstream. Sugar's not into our bloodstream. We don't have the glucose spike. Okay? We have an attenuated, a moderated glucose response curve. It's not a sharp peak. It's mellowed out. We have polycosanol from sugarcane extract in here. Polycosanol inhibits the production of cholesterol in the body. One of the first steps to produce cholesterol in the body, our body naturally produces cholesterol, right, is HMG-CoA reductase. That's one of the first enzymes in the squalene hydroxylase pathway. Polycosanol inhibits HMG-CoA reductase. So we turn down the body's natural process of producing cholesterol. We don't turn it off, but we just dial it back a little bit. And when we dial it back a little bit, that helps to modulate cholesterol control. We have phytosterols in here. Phytosterols are very similar in chemical structure to cholesterol. So when we take a lot of phytosterols in our body, what happens is when the lipoproteins come to pick up cholesterol, it has a choice. It can pick up cholesterol or it can pick up phytosterols. Phytosterols are more hydrophobic than cholesterol. They're more hydrophobic, and so phytosterols prefer to go into the lipoproteins ahead of cholesterol. They move to the front of the queue. Phytosterols move to the front of the queue. Cholesterol's at the back. Okay? Cholesterol's left in the stomach. And what does the stomach do? Flushes it out. So cholesterol passes through our digestive system. Does not enter the bloodstream. Phytosterols enter the bloodstream, but that's okay because phytosterols are so hydrophobic that they don't form plaques. Okay? Cholesterol can form plaques in the arteries, right? Phytosterols don't do that. They don't do that. No plaquing. Great compounds to help lower cholesterol levels in the body. We have chrysanthemum morifolium. This ingredients in chrysanthemum help to upregulate bile acid production. So bile acid in the body is produced from cholesterol. Cholesterol is a starting material for bile acids, right? If we upregulate bile acid production just by a little bit, what does that do to the freestanding pool of cholesterol that can be incorporated into our bloodstream and plaque out? Lowers that pool. That concentration is lowered. So there's less cholesterol available for the body to throw into our bloodstream if we have extra and have it plaque out. Okay? So different mechanisms here. Fiber absorbs cholesterol. Polycosanol inhibits cholesterol production. Stigmasterol and phytosterols prevent cholesterol from getting into the bloodstream. Chrysanthemum keeps cholesterol concentrations, free cholesterol concentrations in the body low. Okay? Then we have B vitamins in here in these BioSlife products, increasing our metabolism. We want to increase metabolism. It's very important because these are metabolic health products, after all. A paper here showing what I just told you, that phytosterols help to lower cholesterol. This paper here with clinical study here. Now this has been known for a long time. 1977. Okay, 1977. It's been around for a long time, but you know what? Who was the first nutraceutical company to ever use phytosterols? Unicity. Okay? Phytosterols, last year in the nutraceutical industry, each year they rate the best up-and-coming nutritional ingredient. Phytosterols won that award last year. My science team and I were like, phytosterols? That was so like 1977, you know? Innovation. Innovation. Paper here showing what I told you, that polycosanol helps to modulate HMG-CoA reductase activity in the cell. Okay. When we talk about validation, we at Unicity Science are not content to just say, oh, well, the scientific literature says that phytosterols lower cholesterol, so we believe it. No. What do? We run clinical studies on every major product that we formulate and developed here at Unicity. We run clinical studies. One of them was shown here. And we collaborate with the top people in the world. Now, if you want to talk about metabolic health, the best people in the world to talk to are the people at the Cleveland Clinic. Their metabolic health unit is one of the best in the world. So we collaborated with the Cleveland Clinic, with Dennis Sprecher and Greg Pierce at the Cleveland Clinic. Dennis Sprecher, I just talked with him on the phone last week. He is actually the lead investigator now in the human nutrition unit at GSK, GlaxoSmithKline. Ran this study showing that BioSlife has the ability to lower LDL cholesterol. Here's a table that they showed. This was a double-blind, placebo-controlled study. Okay, so we had our BioSlife product, and then we had another product, a placebo made. So it tasted the same, smelled the same, had the same organoleptic properties as BioSlife, but it didn't contain the fiber matrix and the vitamins. Okay, it had filler in there. Okay, low dextrose equivalent, low DE maltodextrin. Okay, and what we see here is after we screen, we randomize, we start the experiment right here. You see LDL with the treatment group here with the squares, placebo. After we do this here, you see LDL drops. LDL drops. The placebo stays pretty much the same. LDL drops. Clinically validated. This is the tabulated data. So we see here the treatment group versus the placebo group. We start the experiment right here. Okay, at the end here, end of the blind phase, we go from total LDL cholesterol 159 to 145. Placebo group 158, actually raised a little bit, but statistically pretty much stayed the same. Total cholesterol 238 to 227. Placebo 247 to 246. Validated studies showing that this product lowers LDL cholesterol. It's the fiber matrix. This is a proprietary fiber matrix that we use. It's a patented fiber matrix that we use that cannot be found anywhere else in the world. This is the concluding paragraph of the Cleveland Clinic study, where they say, and this was written by the Cleveland Clinic authors. This was not written by the Unicity team, where they say some interesting things. They talk about long-term studies. We'll show you that we did those long-term studies, but they say such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and or dose for lipid-lowering prescription drugs. Did you know that in the United States, a large number of our distributors, of our franchise partners, are medical professionals, are doctors? A large percentage are doctors. And do you know that when someone comes in and they really should be on a statin drug, that some of these doctors will say, hey, you need to be on a statin drug. You need something to lower your cholesterol. The side effects of statin drugs, you doctors know, are long. Some of them are kind of scary. And so a lot of these doctors will say, well, you need to do something. You know, you say you've been exercising and trying to eat well, but, you know, that's not working. We need to do something to get this under control. So we can either put you on statin, or we can give you this natural fiber-based product that has clinical studies behind it showing that it lowers cholesterol. What do you want to do? What do you think a lot of them say? I'll try this natural BIOS Life product. I'll give it a shot. And over the past 20 years, we have had tremendous success. I receive emails weekly from people saying, I used to take statin drugs, and I used to have all these side effects, and I started taking BIOS Life, and the doctor saw my cholesterol level improve, and so they took my statin dose from here to here. And I kept taking BIOS Life, and my cholesterol continued to improve. And so they took my statin dose from here to here. And then it continued to improve. And what do they do with my statin drug? Off of it. Off of a statin drug. Using this product. That is powerful. That resonates with people. Powerful. Okay, another clinical study here. So this was a follow-up study where we proofed out our fiber concept from the Cleveland Clinic, and we said, well, what if we take this fiber matrix and we add those ingredients I told you? We add phytosterols, we add polycosanol to it. Let's see what happens to cholesterol levels when we do that. And so we ran this clinical study internally. This was published in 2007. And what we see here, I hope you can see this here. So if we look here, we divided it out between the total number of participants versus those that have really high cholesterol, right? So if we look here, TC stands for total cholesterol. 25 people total, 16 had cholesterol levels above 200, which you know is not good. 200 and above is considered high cholesterol. 13 men, 8 men, so 13 men, 12 women in this group here. Average age, baseline total cholesterol, 214. After taking this BIOS Life for 4 weeks, goes down to 208. After taking it for 8 weeks, goes down to 196, a change of 8%. If you see, though, in the high-risk group, above 200, though, okay, we start at 237 on average. We go to 224, change by 5%. We go to 211, we change by 11% after 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, we're down 11%. Okay, LDL cholesterol. You notice here, after 8 weeks, you know, if your LDL is not too bad, it drops by about 5%, but look at these high-risk groups. LDL above 130 or above 160 changes by 25 and 31% in 8 weeks. LDL cholesterol is reduced by 25 or 31% in 8 weeks. HDL. So let's look at the HDL numbers here, okay? So So we have the total group here. HDL starts here, 48 baseline. Okay. After 4 weeks, it goes to 50, change of about 5%. After 8 weeks, it goes to 52. It increases by 8%. Okay. Total, but those people that have less than 40, and you remember we want our HDL to be above 40, right? People who have HDL less than 40, you notice this change of percent is 12. It increases HDL by 12%. Okay? Triglycerides are lowered. Doctors, what is the benefit if you can pull out 10% of the cholesterol that's floating around in your LDL lipoproteins in 8 weeks? What does that do to the metabolism of the body? What does that do? It transforms metabolic health is what it does. It brings the body back into balance. It brings those 10,000 classes of reactions that are done every single second back into homeostasis, back into balance. Powerful products. Okay, conclusion here. Same things here, showing that one thing that was really interesting, let's go back here. So if we go back to the results that we see here, and you compare those with results that are published for a statin drug, guess what? They're about the same. And the BioSlife numbers are actually a little better than most statin drugs. Okay? So this peer-reviewed published paper shows that BioSlife, this fiber matrix with phytosterols, polycosanol, chrysanthemum, and all the ingredients are a viable alternative to statins. Viable alternative to statins. And more, we are hearing in the news, and the AMA, the American Medical Association, comes out with amendments all the time on additional risks for taking statin drugs long term. Right now that people have been taking statin drugs for 15 years or so, we're starting to see what's happening. Some of the long-term risks associated with it. No side effects with this product here. Besides the getting used to taking as much fiber as you should, right? You start taking this product, you need to drink a lot of water because your body is not used to the amount of fiber that you should be taking. We don't eat enough fiber in our diets. Okay, so we extended this. You know, as I travel the world, it's interesting, right? That a lot of times we say, oh, well, you know, that study, that was done in Europe. But I'm an American. It works for Europeans, but it doesn't work for Americans, right? Or it works for Americans, but it doesn't work for Thais. We're different, right? Or it works for Thais, but it doesn't work for Brazilians, right? We have done studies on our BioSlife product on every continent, A study here that we did in collaboration with the Angeles Medical Center in the Philippines. And this might be kind of hard to read, but basically what we did is we have the age groups here, and then we have the cholesterol gradients here. Okay, we have black means good, blue means borderline, and gray means bad. Okay, so you look before taking our BioSlife product. Most of these age groups, their cholesterol was not that good. Okay, the gray bars are quite large. Look what happens after 4 weeks. After 4 weeks. Now remember, black is good. What do you see happening from here to here? Okay, the LDL, and this is a graph of LDL distribution. the LDL distribution dramatically shifts after just 4 weeks. To now, these gray bars are pretty much gone in these younger age groups. The older age groups, we still have, some work to do, but changed dramatically. And this is just after 4 weeks. Notice the other studies we've done have been 8 or 12 weeks. 4 weeks here. Okay? Another study done in Guam among the Chamorro people in Taoming, doctor's clinic in Taoming. Oh, what did I do? I pushed the wrong button. Aha, fix it. Okay, LDL cholesterol. So you notice here, baseline. Okay, those people above 130, the baseline was 168. After 8 weeks, goes to 127, a change of 24.5%. Good p-value there. HDL cholesterol, baseline, goes from 32 to 37. Now this is interesting. So study number 2 was taking people who were taking statins already, but they still had trouble maintaining cholesterol control. Their lipid levels were still not where they needed to be, even with taking a large dose of statins. And so you notice baseline here, 150, taking statins, that number doesn't move. It stays at about 150 average for the people. Taking Bioslife for 8 weeks goes down to 118, a change of 21%. Change of 21%. Adjunct therapy to statins or a replacement therapy. Depends on the individual situation. But regardless, a clinically validated way to lower cholesterol. We won't go through the other data, although it's really beautiful.